Today we're here with Suzanne and we will be talking about international foods. Suzanne, can you start off by telling me what would be your favourite go-to dish to order in a restaurant?
Oh, if in a restaurant, if it was in an English food restaurant or like a Chinese or somewhere, where do you mean?
So basically, let's start with English. What would be your go-to English dish to have?
English, would either be gammon, pineapple and chips, or traditional fish and chips.
I like gammon. I would personally go for like a burger or curry. Either one of those, they're both nice.
What kind of curry do you like, Sam?
I either go for, the thing is, if they don't often do that many spicy curries in some places, that's the trouble. I usually like a Madras.
Oh, so you like something that's got a bit of a kick to it then?
Yeah. A Madras or a jalfrezi.
Okay.
That's nice. Obviously, some people can't handle that.
No.
What would be your, like, if you had a curry, what would be your favourite style of curry?
Oh, I do like, is it called a dal curry, where it's got lots of lentils in it. I like it with meat as well though, so I'm not vegetarian. But I tend to have a dal curry, but I don't like it too spicy. Just medium, just a bit of a kick to it, but not to burn your mouth.
And do you have chips or rice or naan breads? Bit of everything?
A bit of everything. I don't have chips generally when I go out. I will have rice, and I usually go for a vegetable rice, and then I would go for like either a garlic naan or a peshwari naan with a coconut.
I love the peshwari naan, that's my favourite one.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's lovely. I also tried one a few weeks ago, and I don't know what it was called, but it was like a onion, cheese and garlic one.
Oh, that might just be called a cheese naan, I can't remember.
It was lovely anyway. So you mentioned vegetarian.
Yeah.
Do you think you could ever be a vegetarian?
No, because I enjoy my meat too much.
Same here.
I'd like to be vegetarian because of the thought of it and that, but I like all kinds of meat apart from lamb. I'm not a lover of lamb, but I do. Most of my dishes are the main ingredient will be chicken, beef, pork, but I do try and have like fish and that instead as well.
Yeah, I like a bit of every meat, to be fair, apart from fish. I don't like fish. Pork is okay. I tend to
go to fish when I'm on a holiday abroad somewhere.
Yeah. So obviously you mentioned like in Spain you get like a paella, for example. Sometimes can contain fish, sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I do like a paella. I do. We used to have a lot of paella at home, but my husband's allergic to fish now, so we don't tend to have it, and he never fancies making a meat one. So I keep saying to him, we'll have to have a paella again.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't like fish in general, I don't like the flavour, but there's something about the way they're killed. They're not killed in a very good way.
And not in a humane way.
No.
Yeah.
So obviously that's an issue as well. So obviously you've mentioned before that you like to bake a lot.
Yes, I do.
So what is your favourite thing to bake, would you say?
I've tried. So my husband and I are very much into trying different dishes at home, and I have been doing the A to Z of cooking, and so we've been looking at different countries, and we've been looking at the capital of a country. So the capital for A, we chose Argentina, and my husband cooked a steak, and then we did for B, I think we chose Bangladesh. I think it was Bangladesh, and then I'll tell you where it was Bahrain. So it was Bahrain, and I did an amazing curry from Bahrain, and then we got to see, and then we ran out. We forgot to do it anymore, so we will start it again. But we do like to try traditional dishes of each country. Like when we go abroad, we like to try a dish that's known for that country, just to try something different, and then sometimes when we come home from that country, we'll try and variate the dish ourselves. to have a go.
It's good to go to like a traditional like Greek restaurant, for example, if you're in Greece, or
Yes.
Spanish if you're in
Yeah.
in Spain. Then yeah, we always try to. We normally go all inclusive.
Yeah.
But we have been self-catering before.
But even in the all-inclusives, they still give you their traditional dish. Like I know when I've been to Spain and gone all-inclusive,
Yeah.
they do the potatoes in the they're like the Canarian potatoes.
They're lovely.
And they're really nice, aren't they? So I have tried doing those at home. But yeah, so we did go to China, and we tried some food there, some different food, but it wasn't to my liking so much.
I have tried a Canaries before, and this is not a weird dish at all, to be honest, but it just didn't taste nice. It's not your usual product that you would get in the UK. It was like a Spanish meatball.
Oh, okay.
And they were not very nice.
Maybe they used a different texture of meat.
Yeah.
I think their meats over there, like when you have bacon abroad, is not the same bacon as it is in the UK, is it? It's a very different texture and taste.
It's like a very soft bacon usually, isn't it?
Yeah.
And quite a lot of people don't like that.
No.
Do you like it, would you say? Because personally, I do quite like it, but then I like any bacon, to be honest. It's lovely.
No, I don't mind it. I think when I try the bacon in Spain, it's for me it's a little bit more fatty, and I'm not so keen on the fattiness of it. I tend to, when I have any kind of meat dish, for example, if my husband has pork and it's got like an edge of fat to it, or like the gammon, I'll always cut it off. Unless it's really crispy, then I'm okay. But I don't like the texture of it when it's not fully cooked.
So obviously, like when you're abroad, and do you usually go all inclusive yourself, or half board, or?
It really depends, if I'm honest. I try and go half board because I don't like to be stuck to have to go into that restaurant at the same time at lunchtime as well. The last time I went on holiday, I went half board, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
And they did do a lot of their traditional meats. We went to Tenerife, and they did do a lot of their traditional meats and their traditional dishes, so it was really nice. But I do quite like going self-catering, so it gives you that option to sort of go off and try different restaurants each night, because sometimes I think all-inclusive can be a little bit the same old each day. And you want to try everything, don't you?
If you're there for longer than a week, then it just sort of repeats itself.
Yes,
then.
it does, yeah.
So we usually go for 10 or 14 days.
Yeah, it's a nice time to go, isn't it? 10 to 14 days.
10 at a minimum.
Yeah.
10 at a minimum, because 7 goes by a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
So I say there's at least 3 or 4 times a week go out to a restaurant and eat.
Yeah.
Out of the hotel itself, because like obviously it gets a little bit of the same after a while, and and like in Greece as well, they give you like samples at the end of your meal and stuff, usually shots, to be honest. But,
oh yeah, they give their traditional drink, don't they?
Yeah.
When you've had a dinner.
Or some places give like a little dessert to try and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've been fortunate in going to a few different places, and in Japan was one of them. And in my head before I went, I thought it was the stereotypical would be Japanese food, and actually it was very different when we got there. But one of their most traditional foods is rice, but they crack an egg into the rice and let the heat of the rice cook the egg, and they just have vegetables with it, and that's it. And I've yet to try doing it at home, but we had it out there several times. But it's the same as other countries. You go to sort of, we've been to China, and we thought the traditional Chinese food would be like the duck that we have here and the noodles, and it's not. It's very, very different. Over there, they tend to cook the whole duck head and serve you the duck head as well.
You can get whole chicken in KFC over there as well.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it? But I think as far as traditional foods go, what we have here that's traditional Chinese isn't what Chinese would have in China, and the same with the Japanese, and the same with other countries. Like, for example, a curry. Our curries in England have been variated from what people have had in I don't know, Asian places.
They're going to be a lot more milder because some people's taste palates in the UK aren't quite up to what they would be in the country that dish have originated from. So, like, yeah.
Well, I know a traditional curry in, say, Pakistan is a real sticky, dry texture. Because my brother had friends in Pakistan, and he when that they were local, and when they came back from holiday, they brought back a traditional curry for my brother, and it was, we got all excited. He said, I brought it back. This was quite a few years ago now, because you wouldn't be allowed to do it now on the plane, but he brought it all back on the plane, and he came to our house, and we all shared the curry, and we were all excited, thinking we were going to get this amazing curry, and it was amazing. But it was such a sticky texture that you would use your fingers to eat with it. It was more. Our curries we have are a lot wetter, aren't they? A lot more sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce based, whereas the real proper curries aren't sauce based. They're very dry texture.
Personally, I quite like a lot of sauce because obviously you can like dip your naan bread in and stuff like that.
So have you tried several different traditional dishes then, Sam?
So, if we're talking cuisines here, obviously, last night I had a Chinese, funnily enough.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you normally have for your Chinese?
So, last night I had quite a lot, and actually I couldn't finish it all, so I've got some left for tonight.
Nice.
So it's lovely. And Chinese is always like a bit nicer the day after.
Yes, yeah, I find that actually. And do you know what? My brother is, not my brother, my son, he puts his in the air fryer to reheat it, and he said it's amazing, done in the air, like the noodles, done in the air fryer. So get your money's worth, Sam, eh?
So last night, obviously, I had chicken curry, chips, sweet and sour chicken balls, and prawn crackers. And spring rolls as well. They give like spring rolls and prawn crackers for free. They do.
Yeah.
I think it's if you order over a certain amount of things.
They give you extras, don't they?
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah. So obviously, I used to like curry sauce, and I still do like the curry sauce, but I love sweet and sour now.
Yeah.
So
I think your taste buds change as well as you get older.
Yeah.
The things that you like, I never used to like pate, or like I didn't like pate and certain other foods. And as I've got older, I actually like those foods now. You kind of grow to like them.
Pate is a very. I personally quite like it, but I see why people don't like it because it's a very odd.
It's an odd texture, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know where that originates from either. I don't know what country pate would originate from, whether it's a British food, because it's made from liver, isn't it? Liver pate usually, from various animals, but I don't know.
No. And like, I suppose this is where we can talk about weird foods, because like, that's sort of like a weird texture.
Yeah.
But have you ever tried any weird foods? And if you haven't tried any food, what is the food that you find so weird you'd never have?
The only weird food I say the only weird food. The one food that I don't like eating, but my husband has, is black pudding. I just can't bring myself to eat it. I don't like the thought of it, knowing what's gone into it. But my husband and I, years ago, when we went to China, we made a vow to each other that we would try something different. And I don't know if you're aware, over there they have some very different foods. They tend to have things like deep fried starfish, deep fried scorpions, all the sorts of things. Even deep fried seahorse, which just upset me beyond belief because I like seahorses.
The stuff the UK Food Environment Safety Agency would not
wouldn't allow. And
No.
over there, and so we did try some meat.
Yeah.
We weren't 100% sure what it was, but we thought it was chicken, but we're not sure. But they have a market in China which has every possible type of meat you could possibly think of from every part of an animal's body, which I wouldn't try. But that's their culture, isn't it? And so you have to respect that country's culture, I guess. Not that I agreed with it, because I didn't, especially with the seahorses, but you have to like respect that's their culture of their country, you know. And when we're the same, if they come into our country, we'd expect them to respect the fact that we like full English breakfast, maybe.
And they might,
not so bad, but
and they might find some of our food weird as well.
Yeah. Is there anything weird you've tried, Sam?
I don't think I tried any weird food off the top of my head, but the one food that really I find quite weird and I would never want to try is snails.
Okay.
It just doesn't...
Just the thought of it. Yeah, I must admit, I've been to France and I ended up having onion soup because I didn't want to. I thought French onion soup sounds way better than eating snails. It wasn't for me. Although my husband, I have to be honest, we went to years ago. We went to America and we tried a bison burger.
Yeah. And
bison is very much like a large cow, really. But that was a different texture. It was quite nice, but it's just the thought of it. I think for me, something a bit different.
Yeah. So obviously we were mentioning Chinese earlier.
Yeah.
What is your favourite go-to takeaway, and what would you usually order?
I don't have a lot of takeaways, merely because we like to have a variety of dishes, and we're just two of us. We're limited. So we tend to have a takeaway when we're together with family, and that is usually a Chinese, I'm not going to lie, or pizza. I don't mind either. The only downside is sometimes I find Chinese can be very salty because there's a lot of salt in it. It's quite salty dishes. But it is probably one of my favourites because I love the salt and pepper chips, the salt and pepper chili chips, which, you know, are really, really enjoyable, and the noodles. So yeah, probably a Chinese.
And what sort of sauce would you, or do you get a sauce on the side?
We do, but that's because my daughter-in-law likes to have a side of satay sauce, I believe. So she has the satay sauce because I would say we usually have a real mixture. So we'll usually order like the noodles with the satay sauce at the side. We usually have the mini spring rolls. We have the rice. We usually have a bit of everything. The salt and pepper chips. And like you say, you get your prawn crackers. Sometimes we'll have a side order of duck. Really depends what mood we're in. But we don't have takeaways very often, so when we do, it's quite nice. It makes a difference.
And I feel like there's not many Chinese restaurants that you can actually sit inside of.
No,
it seems to be a lot more Indian restaurants that you can sit inside.
Yeah, I mean, you have your eat as much as you like, I guess, in Cardiff.
Yeah.
But apart from that, no, there aren't, especially locally here.
There is one in Moofa as well.
Oh, is there?
No,
yes, there is. That's right, there is.
I've never been.
At the food retail park kind of area, is it?
Yeah, I think, in Reggicar, I think it is.
Okay.
I went there many years ago, because it was like now,
Yeah, because they tend to do a bit of food from all around the world, don't they? When you go into all the world buffets.
Yeah.
And
that's
again,
my sort of place. All you can eat.
All you can eat. You like that, do you?
Lovely.
I'd eat too much, Sam. I would want to eat everything that's on the menu. That's the only downside, isn't it? When you have like all inclusive on a holiday, you want to eat everything. You want to try everything. So that first night, you think, right, I'm going to try that, and that, and then by the end of the week, you've had enough because you've tried everything.
Yeah, you sort of like pile it up, and you sort of have things together that you would not usually put together.
Yeah.
So like you get like about like 5 different dishes on one plate.
Yeah.
And then obviously you get all the desserts as well.
Oh yes, you do.
You get like 5-6 different desserts, which I love, right? But yeah, you wouldn't usually go to a restaurant and have 5 or 6 different desserts.
No, that's right.
Obviously, the desserts are quite small. They're not massive. They're quite small and they, but you're still having quite a lot of dessert.
Yeah.
Really. So like obviously, yeah. So like obviously if you're abroad and stuff, like have you ever been on a cruise, for example?
I've done one cruise. I've only ever been on one cruise.
Yeah.
And the food on that was nice because again you had different restaurants you could go to have different types of food. So you did have an Italian restaurant, you did have an Indian restaurant, you did have, and then you could go to the buffet. They did a barbecue night as well. So they did barbecue meats, which is probably, to be fair, barbecue meats are my favourite as well. One of my favourites.
Yeah, they're lovely. And obviously, sometimes when we go abroad, the hotel often does a barbecue. Occasionally, like.
Yeah.
Depends on where you go, to be honest. I've seen it more in Greece.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah. So, I like, personally, my favourite cuisines would probably be Indian, Chinese, and Mexican. I like Mexican because of like fajitas and all that.
Again, you seem to like the spicy food then.
Yeah, I love spice, yeah.
And they're good for you. All the spices are good for you as well, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. So what is, obviously you mentioned like you like Chinese. What other cuisines would you personally go for?
I like Thai food. I like
Thai green curry.
Thai green curry all the way. And I haven't made one for a while, but I do a lot of Thai green curry. I also do a dish where I use Thai green curry paste on top of salmon on a salmon fillet, and then I wrap it in pastry and bake that in the oven, and that's delicious. It's made me think I might have to do that soon because it's a nice dish to make, and that just gives it a little bit of a different texture with the salmon, the sauce and the pastry. But yeah, I do like a Thai curry because it's different to Chinese, very different.
So you sort of like to make things from scratch, like homemade things, don't you? It sounds like, yeah. So obviously, I think homemade's the best thing anyway.
You know what ingredients are in it, don't you?
Yeah.
When you make it yourself, yeah.
And I feel like it tastes the best as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. So like, obviously, yeah, so thank you for coming on the podcast today,
that's
Suzanne.
been brilliant, Sam. It's been really enjoyable talking about the different international foods as well that we all try.
Yeah, and like our favourite cuisines and dishes and stuff, and like desserts and all that, and baking and everything. So it's been good. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
See you next time.
Thank you.